Hello, this is Kiana Primo. We're here live. I've got Jonah Haas on the air with me from Lucidity Festivals and Lucid University, and we are here tonight for our final countdown for Lucid University Indiegogo campaign. So those of you who are watching us on the YouTube channel, there is a chat. We'd love it if you say hello, ask questions. We want to have a conversation with you guys. And if you are watching from Facebook over on Lucidity Festivals page, you can communicate with us through the chat there. Pulling that tab up so we can see who's there. And awesome. Jonah, I'll tag you over on that so you can find that easy.
Okay. Looks like there's 9 people watching us there.
Cool. And we've got 3 over on YouTube right now. Jonah, why don't you go ahead and share a little bit? Let everybody know what's up as far as Lucid University and this crowdfund campaign.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, there's a total delay here, so I just need to turn the sound on the down. I'm going to let you field questions rather than trying to navigate both of these 2 screens, because there's a delay. So it's really when I'm hearing the delay, it's
Got it.
Okay. So
yeah.
Let's see. Where are we at with the crowdfunding campaign? Well, we're at 60% funded, and we have 6 hours left, and we've raised $66,000, just over $66,000. It's been an interesting theme with this campaign. You know, a lot of our pricing is like $33, $66, $333. And so it's been interesting, the numerology of watching the numbers as they've progressed. Every time I look, I see some, interesting pattern, eating numbers in the analytics, and maybe just because my eye is attuned to looking at that sort of thing at this point. Just the total tangent. I feel really good about where we're at. We set the bar high with a $111,000 goal, and I really would have loved to have reached that goal. And we used Indiegogo's flexible funding functionality, so we didn't need to reach that goal in order for this money to have an impact. And really, the more funds that we raise, the more impact we're able to have in terms of the infrastructural improvements that we're going to be doing on the land, and building a website, and beginning programming for 2017. There's a lot of infrastructural improvements that we want to make. There's a dome that we want to put a weatherproof covering on. We want to build a floor for that dome. We also want to build like glamping platforms that can have like lotus bell tents on them. There's like 9 places around the land where it would be great to have a camping platform. And then we have a relationship with the U.S. division of lotus bell tents. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with lotus bell tents, but they're beautiful. And to bring those onto the land, because right now it's anyone who's coming to visit us, hopefully those people who got the Trillium home warming party perk as part of the Indiegogo campaign, they will see when they come and they visit us in May that it's going to be a camping event, and there's a lot of beautiful space to camp, and anyone who's come to Lucidity Festival is comfortable with camping. And but we're also, in the next few years, we're hoping to increase our capacity and our hospitality by creating these platforms and that sort of thing. So So it may not be right off the bat since we didn't raise the amount that we were looking for, the 111, but every bit that comes in here in these last few hours helps improves our capacity. Like those Lotus Bell tents are about $2,000. So for every $2,000 we get, we're able to um, Lotus Bell tent, and the platforms will be relatively easy, but there's still a cost associated with them as well. So that's sort of some of the tangibles of like what this money is going towards. And I think it would be awesome to spend some time talking about the perks as well. We're really hoping that in these last few hours that people who are tuning in are hopefully people who haven't become backers yet, or maybe you have become backers, but maybe you have become a backer, but you more than one of the perks. Indiegogo allows you to select multiple perks, and maybe there's more that you want to contribute. And so I would love to open it up to questions if anybody has questions about any of the perks, and give that a minute to see if any questions come in. And then if no questions come in, we can just start looking at the different perks and talking about them.
Great.
In general, are there any questions?
So if you're watching and you are either on Facebook Live or on the YouTube Live channel, in the comment section, go ahead and ask your questions there, and we'll be happy to answer those. And 6:27, in just a few minutes, we ought to have Jamaica Stevens joining us as well. And she's going to share some more about the vision of Lucid University and the benefits and the importance of this project and this now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything, Jonah? So maybe just in general, I'd love to talk about membership and the different levels of membership that are available in this campaign, and the benefits of picking up one of these memberships now.
Yeah. Well, we have 4 different levels of membership. We have a 1-year, a 3-year, a 6-year, and a lifetime membership. And basically what the membership allows you to do is it allows you to come and join us for any Lucid University programming that we're hosting at Trillium throughout the year. So you could really be joining us 1 week for 8 months if you wished to come to our programming. It's looking like we're going to, when we get things up and running, hopefully have 1 week of programming per month. What I don't know if everybody understands or knows, there's going to be a community as well, and so because it's where people live, we want to not have full around the clock every day programming. The programming is going to be event-based, where people can come to a deep dive or an educational immersion in a particular subject for 4 to 7 days. And so we're hoping to do one of those a month from the months of like March to September.
Mm-hmm.
And so what the membership allows you to do is it allows you to come to all of those. And price point of one of them is likely going to be in the range of like 555, anywhere from 555 to 700. And so the 1-year membership, which is if you come to 3 events, basically that's paying for itself. And then there's an added bonus of joining us for a 4-day weekend getaway, and that is just to be on the land, to stay in one of our cabins, and have a vacation. Really, there wouldn't be any programming associated with that. That would just be you integrating with the community, and hopefully if we have some projects that are going on, people would be able to get involved, and we'll likely have community dinners, just a matter of our day-to-day lives on the land. And so it'll really give people an opportunity to drop in with the community that is going to be living at Trillium year-round.
Mm-hmm. And that starts at the
And
root membership, right? The 1551.
yep, that starts at the 1551 root membership. That's for a 1-year membership. And then the other memberships, the solar plexus membership, the crown membership, it's basically the same invitation, but for 6 years. And then there's the lifetime membership, which will allow people to come um, for the lifetime of the project, which we intend to be a very long time. This is a project that uh, we see as a legacy project. We hope to be able to pass this land along to our children, and hopefully they pass it along to their children. And so, yeah, the lifetime membership is really the lifetime of the lifetime of the project, or the lifetime of you, whichever is longer.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to share on here as well is we did have, let me just see, I'm getting a note from Jamaica. She's haven't received. Okay, let me try sending this link to Jamaica one more time.
Okay. While you do that, I will jump in and talk about some of the the other perks. We have recently we released, I guess a couple weeks ago, we released what will be the first Lucid University educational immersion at Trillium in June of next year, June 8, 9, 10, and 11. And that is a weekend retreat for plant medicine enthusiasts. And that will be with Dr. Nick Berry from Essential Oil Wizardry. And if you don't know his work, he is a trained pharmacist turned essential oil wizard, basically essential oil alchemist, and he sources the best essential oils from around the world and makes incredible blends. He teaches at festivals up and down the West Coast, and he brings people into a play shop environment and shares about how to make your own blend, how to use essential oil for perfumery, how to use essential oils for health and well-being. He knows all of the properties of all of the different plant medicines that are within the different oils, and is able to share how they interact with one another and what the best practices for usage are, and ecstatic dance, how to uplift ecstatic dance with essential oils, how to uplift intimacy with essential oils. And so all of these things he'll be diving into over the course of a 3-day immersion, and that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for that.
Me too. It sounds incredible.
Yeah. And then there's also a popular perk is the host your own retreat, the 12-12 level. And this is for those of you that have your own educational offerings or your own experiential offerings that you want to provide for an audience or a community. This is basically your opportunity to Trillium as a venue. And we would invite you to sell tickets to that so that it's a generative endeavor. And so this is really an opportunity to invest in your own work and bring up to 20 people to the land in a camping capacity. We have a community kitchen where you can cook meals. There's a river to swim in. There's 30 plus miles of hiking trails, and it's surrounded by 4,000 plus square miles of pristine wilderness. And it's really a beautiful place to be, really a great opportunity to connect deeply with nature. So any sort of land stewardship or earth-based permaculture, herbalism, plant medicine type retreats are perfect for this venue. So just wanted to put that out there as another popular venue that would really go a long way towards helping us and helping you. Really seeing this as a win-win opportunity. Win-win-win, really. Win for us, win for you as a retreat leader, and then win for the people who come and get to experience that you provide and create for them.
Awesome. And, you know, I've worked with a lot of teachers and educators in growing their business and their offerings and doing retreats. This is an incredible deal. It really is it's 4 days and 3 nights, right? For up to 20 people. And the cost of the land is only $1,212. That is an incredible deal. So definitely a real major opportunity to create a very prosperous event for your business and create an incredible experience for your students. So definitely a great perk. Check that out. It's very attainable, and again supports Lucid University in its efforts to create this permanent year-round campus for our ongoing education. And joining us, we've had jump on Jamaica Stevens. She's our programming manager for Lucid University. Jamaica, so glad you could join us tonight. Would you love to share a little bit more about what that is? Like, what does it mean for us to have a year-round campus at Lucid University? What can people and members and supporters expect from this shift?
Really happy to be here with you guys. Thanks. This is a fun way to finish what I know has been a long and exciting campaign, and has been even longer of a dream and journey to get to the place to be ready to anchor a school on land. So I'll start with the gift of land is space and time. And one thing I know from being a part of the Lucid University and the festival environment for these last few years is that it's such a ignition switch of creativity and wonder, and so much happens in that space in the Lucid University at the festival. So much interaction and opportunities for people to really learn, and yet it's a container that has limitations. You know, it has limitations of what we can really do with the space, and it has limitations for how we can utilize our time. And so one thing that I get really excited about, and I know is why we as a community really felt like land was the next move, was the space and time to deepen and create the conditions for our innate genius to flourish. And the deeper I go as a program manager, and the more that I learn myself about how to create containers for learning and education, what I realize we need is that opportunity for a more embodied, sensorial, interactive, like multi-sensory experience. People learn in very different ways. And it also takes repetition, and it takes time to practice and to sort of go through the different layers of comprehending ideas, more from just like reading a text and then seeing a video and then interacting with something, you know, in a live space, and then sharing it with your peer groups, and then maybe doing some sort of project, and having the time and the space to deepen and ripen and invite people into sort of peeling back their own natural innate curiosity and genius, and just providing the conditions, you know, like the resources, the materials, the maker spaces, the classroom, the living classroom, a peer group, and then, you know, the kind of frameworks and metrics for their own development and growth is not something we can do in a festival environment. And I think that the gift of this festival is it's birthed our village. You know, we've been practicing with the village for years now, and I think that we've learned, sometimes the hard way and sometimes by total triumph, what it actually takes to, you know, not only sustain but to regenerate this community's potential. And so land feels like the natural next step, and a place to deepen in our practices feels essential, and to create a community around that that's holding coherence, you know, and consistency, that allows people to sort of be inside of an environment that really will hold them in their deepening of learning. So yeah, it's a really unique experience. I get really excited for its potential.
Yay. Thank you for that. It is really exciting. And I know it's been something that has been part of the Lucidity Festival's vision for a long time. And many of us that are part of the festival culture, the festival world, we've all been looking at this for a while. Like, where do we go next? How do we take this to the next level? How do we cultivate this experience of a festival and make it a more sustainable and even thriving experience for us as a whole? I know festival culture totally transformed, my being and my life, and that was a quest I set on several years ago, 5 years ago, even to really figure out how to live in this bigger community way, and yes, the development of the village. So thank you so much, you guys, for being pioneers and tireless leaders and action takers on this effort. It's really exciting to watch and to be a part of.
Thanks, Kiana. Can I say one more thing, because it just got all bubbly in my being?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so one other thing that I want to say is that I feel like a lot of our community are tapped in, certainly not only in our community, but through our community, we're tapped into a lot of innovation, a lot of ecotech and regenerative design and building, natural building, permaculture and beyond permaculture, biodynamic farming. I feel like the other thing that's essential is we're prototyping ways of living and being. And so not only is it about our students have the experience, it's about us having the experience to create these sort of research and demonstration sites for social fabric, for infrastructure, for the flows of our economy. We'll see what wants to happen that's true to Trillium and Lucidity, but that we need these places to prototype the way that we can live and learn in these communities together feels essential right now. We need to practice. We need a space to grow and to learn, and then to share what we've learned. So as much as it is about holding the container for students, it's also a place for us who are holding the container to learn, for the instructors to learn and to grow in their craft and their mastery, to be the mentors for the students that come in. So it also feels like that's a really essential part about why being on the land is so important with this project, that it couldn't be done also maybe in other environments.
Yeah, definitely. Could you share, maybe either of you, both of you, on how do you see that happening as we move forward? How do you see the sharing of the learning that happens at Lucid University, at Trillium, to the greater community?
I'll jump in and take that question. It's going to be a tricky dance and a balance because we want to provide inclusive opportunities for people to come join us, and at the same time, we're very clear that there's a community that's going to be living there year round, and they're real humans with real lives, and it's not like we're not putting a festival on that's happening 365 days of the year. That's not what's going on here. What's going on is there's a community who's living their lives that are inspired by festival culture and inspired by specifically a lot of the workshop content and the educational material that's been coming through events. And so we will be creating event-based educational immersions that happen, like I was saying earlier, maybe 1 week or 1 weekend a month, and it'll be at that time that our invitation for people to come and join us on the land will go out, and part of the creating inclusive opportunities for people of all different backgrounds and financial standing is things like creating scholarships, things like offering work trade and internship opportunities, and a whole variety and range of full scholarship to partial scholarship to low income opportunities. And so really want it to be accessible, but then obviously accessible within the time parameters that that everybody in the community agrees to, is that they're willing to have that impact of a wave of of interested humans coming into their lives and then out of their lives. So that would be my answer to your question. Jamaica might have another answer.
That's a great answer, Jonah. I think it's really important to share the kind of what exactly will be happening there. And we know that because there's also a land stewardship community that it can grow over time, and that there may be different ways that people can engage over time. One thing I would say to add to what Jonah's offered is that there's definitely an ecosystem emerging of new education. This is sparking in many areas, in many lands, and many impact centers, many online courses, a lot of self-led schools like the ALC that you're involved with. So what I appreciate is that Lucid University at Trillium is really integrated in the partnership potential, the network potential for learning across multiple different platforms. And because of the relationships we've all built as a community and a network for years, we have the capacity to distribute the knowledge and information in shared resource banks of what we're all learning together. And that exists and is emergent and is being built in terms of there being a networked approach to educating. So I feel like Lucid University also is going to be one within a greater ecosystem. We get to share what we've approached with our learning styles and teaching styles and what's been prototyped out of this particular village. But we get to do that within a network. It's not siloed. It's more in an ecosystem of players saying, how do we create accessible learning that's impactful and meaningful for the world that's coming? And how do we create as many access points as possible for the different people who are going to be drawn to this, but how do we, also create relationships with people who might be drawn to other forms of learning, but that are still in a relationship and a network with what we're teaching, what we're offering. So I get excited for that too, that this is part of a greater conversation and that we get to help be a very grounded node within the greater network that's emerging.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's very exciting to see how these different aspects and projects of the greater community can come together, and how this land can be a beautiful container just to support the initiatives that each of these individual projects have. So it's pretty exciting. Thank you.
Whoa. So I want to give a shout out. It looks like 4 minutes ago, Nikki became but she selected the Trillium 1 month immersion, which is awesome at $1,111.
Awesome.
That's going to, yeah, it's amazing, and thank you so much, Nikki. I hope I'm not butchering your last name by
Kimura.
saying
That's my
Kimura.
girl, Nikki Kimura. Thank you, girl,
Kimura.
for coming in and helping with that. That's incredible. I'm sure you're going to have an incredible experience. Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. More of that. Yes.
More of that. We'll take
more of that. Woo! Celebration. Everybody do a happy dance. Woo! So what that is getting, Nikki, let's take that as an opportunity to highlight the 1 month immersion. That is going to offer Nikki the opportunity to stay with our community for a month and learn with one of the community members who's living there. There's a very skilled group of people who are going to be moving, and so opportunities for mentorship include gardening and permaculture, food processing, lucid dreaming, community facilitation and guardianship. To one of the couples who just recently signed on as being a residential partner, one's an electrical engineer and the other is a landscape architect. One of the women does children's wilderness retreats, and so there's a lot of opportunity for mentorship. And if you want a little bit of all of them, then just spending time with each of us will be amazing, and spending time with the community will be amazing. And getting to to see what day in and day out life at Trillium, at a place like this, where we're exploring these new models of sort of education and community living and sort of design, all sort of integrated together. I love how Jamaica talks about how it's not just a learning for you, it's a learning for us. And so, yeah, really excited to learn with you, Nikki. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I am, if anybody's watching on any of our pages, I'm just posting links around so you guys can easily get to the campaign page. So keep an eye out for that. Go check out the campaign. Head over there and take a look at all these perks and pick one up, the one that's the right fit for you. There are many, many great ones to choose from. I also wanted to make an announcement too, because we were running an Instagram contest to give away a free ticket bundle, a ticket to Lucidity Festival, as well as a ticket to the Trillium Landwarming to celebrate the homecoming of Lucid University. And we were giving that away when we reached the 60% funded, which we did a little while ago, earlier this afternoon. And so we have a winner. I'm just going to go over here to my notes and remember her name. Her name is Mandy. Mandy is on Instagram as EDM Bass Bunny, and she is the winner. She's so excited. I'm going to share what she sent because she's already responded to us. She says, "I am in tears and my heart is pounding. I am so thankful. Thank Mother Earth and Lucid University for this opportunity. I will cherish this experience for the rest of my life." So, sweetness. Thanks, Mandy.
Awesome.
We're really glad that you supported us in this campaign and helping get the word out. So Jonah, I'm curious, I'm going to put you on the spot maybe a little bit. We're at 61% funded right now. What if we give away something else? What if we do a push for the 75% mark? Is there an offer we can make to our friends watching to maybe help inspire them to join the bandwagon and contribute?
Yeah, I'd love to make a special offer. What should we do?
I got one, maybe.
Okay.
I have
What
one.
do
You can think of one. Well, so I would love to offer for the next person who jumps in at the 1,000, what was it, the 1,100 range, to help us make a big leap. I would love to offer actually the $9.99, what would have been the optimistic media. I'd like to offer a strategy session and consulting session with any project partners that we have out there. I've done a lot of work in organizational design. I've done a lot of strategy and programming work, and I would like to actually put my own services up as being available if anybody's interested. If you are starting a project or you're at a transition phase in your project, I've done a lot of that for this community. A lot of skills and tools, and can definitely leverage the Re-inhabiting the Village project and a lot of the tools that we created to help either ground and found projects, or also to help take it to the next level and look at ways to continue to grow with your evolving culture. So that's one thing I would like to offer.
Awesome.
So it sounds like anybody who comes in at the $9.99 or higher will throw that in.
Yep. Yeah,
we throw Jamaica in with it.
Yeah, it's me and Re-inhabiting the Village. We'll do it for like a 4-hour session or 5-hour session of doing like a deep strategy and organizational design consulting for any of our project partners out there.
Awesome.
Love
That's
it.
incredible.
That could be for your eco village. That could be for your business. You could be starting a social movement. It could be your festival. So I've got a lot of skills. I'd love to throw myself in the mix. That's one thing we could do.
Awesome. I love that. Jamaica, let me ask you too, just to help create value around this for those watching. What would you charge to do that 4 to 5 hour strategy session with a client?
It's definitely about that amount. That's why I think it was a good fit.
So about $1,000 for that experience, and you're going to get that as an added perk, an added bonus for anything that you would pick up. So thank you. That's incredible. Jonah, did you have something? What if we get to the 75% mark? How can we inspire our friends to help us get there?
Well, I mean, let's shoot more attainable.
Okay.
75% is quite a ways away, and if we, I mean, if we hit something earlier milestone, then we'll create one for 75. But let's talk about 65% right now. We're at 61%. If we reach 65%, then we will give away how about a free our Lucid University course week that happens in the 4 days leading up to Lucidity Festival. We did that last year before the festival at Live Oak Campground in Santa Ynez, California, where we have the festival. And we had 5 courses. Last year we had a dreaming course, a permaculture course, a leadership course, Reiki healing, and art and creativity. This year we have a dream council course and a regenerative community building course, an Ayurvedic herbalism, a creating your personal mythology, and an ecstatic flow arts movement and power course. And so right now on information that's available publicly on these courses, there's course descriptions on our buy ticket page, which if you go to www.lucidityfestival.com and you click on the buy ticket button and you scroll down to the bottom, that's where the Lucid University Course Week courses are. This is April 3, 4, and 5, 2017. There's 5 courses, and if you click next to the course, there's a little link that says more info. If you click on those more info links, you get course descriptions for all of the courses. And of course, when our full website launches for next year's festival, there will be a lot more information on these courses. But I'm definitely willing to give away one of these if we reach 65%, and we'll select it from any of the people who help us to get to 65% from where we are now to that, and that is a value of $366, the course week seat.
Awesome. So yeah, totally. I just did a little math, and so the difference that what we need to raise to reach the 65% mark is $4,974. So that's totally attainable if we get a couple people coming in at the $1,000 level, either for their membership or the course week, or sorry, it's the optimistic photo shoot at $9.99. Or if you want to come in and be our first crown membership at $5,511, that will put us past the mark, and then we can pick from the couple of people that come in to give that away. That would be super fun. So,
and really,
again,
what I want to know is there within the next 6 hours is if there's a lifetime member out there. I want to know who feels like this project is so perfectly aligned with your visions and your dreams, and don't necessarily see yourself moving onto a community property like this, but you really want to be interwoven for the rest of your life. It would be awesome to see someone like that step forward. I've heard so many people express those sentiments about this project, but I'm also clear that not everybody has the means to be able to put this type of investment down. And at the same time, when we talk about an investment for the rest of your life, if you do have the means, then this is actually a really reasonable price tag. There's some timeshares where you pay 2 or 3 times this amount, and you get to go for a week a year. And what we're talking about is all of Lucidity, Lucid University programming that happens on the land. You get to join us for that. So, so yeah, I would love to see someone step in and become our first lifetime member.
Me too. Let's do it. Let's have a lifetime member and a crown member, and then we'll have at least one in each of the membership levels. That would be incredible. So who is that? Is it you? You're watching? Could it be you? What would it take for you to come in? Let us know. Have questions, let us know. Oh, I see there's actually a whole bunch going on over here. Hold on. Ruben Smith says, go Jaima, go. Yes, Sister Love, Tessa Womack. You guys are so cute, it makes my heart burst. Look at Jonah's beard. Ruben loves us.
You love Ruben.
Yeah. Where can I see this?
So this is on the viewing page for the YouTube. These are where these comments at. I will put that in our chat, Jonah. When you go there, just make sure you mute the sound of the YouTube video, and you won't get that feedback that gets distracting. Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah, the fact that like I'm just chatting with the two of you, but then I realized that our friends are out there in the world listening to this, and I really want to acknowledge that this year's festival, the 6-year story arc of Lucid Festival, is ending in this thing we call eudaimonia, which is the conditions of human flourishing. And it's sort of that apex and blossoming of potential. And last year we were at the crossroads. And so this mythos, this story arc of 6 years, kind of the journey happening on the planet. I don't think that when Lucidity was created, anybody could have foretold how perfectly aligned the story arc would be with what's happening in the world. And I just want to say that at a time of such a crossroads moment where we have such potential to choose to really unify and make very intentional actions and kind of culminate all of this growing and learning that I know this community and the world has been doing for a very long time, and to steer the course of action and the cultural narrative towards the potential for our flourishing. It's very relevant. It's very relevant that even though for us it's like our little community growing into its, next potential, it's also our great global community at a time where we have a lot of choices to make. And I feel like supporting projects like this is creating the conditions for the potential for a future that's much more regenerative, much more creative and inspired, much more connected, is formed on being community of people and place that brings our children along and helps us as the ones growing to be lifelong learners. And I don't know, as you said that about Ruben, I just realized there's so many who have walked on this journey to make it possible for us to stand here and say, oh, the next phase for us of our journey is to take the practice we've been doing and actually turn it into practice to learn how to become people of place. And we want to create the conditions for flourishing. And we're not there yet. The planet's not there yet, but every single choice we make right now, it's essential that we put our heart and our time and our voice and our action and honestly our money, our economy, that we support the things that we say, yes, I choose this, because we all have a choice right now. So it's not like the membership driver, we're like, give us your money because this really matters, but it kind of is. It's like, this is an opportunity to say, I choose to see more of this on the planet. I choose to see more places that create the conditions for the human flourishing. So I just wanted to say that, because realizing our friends are out there listening, I just want to champion that we're doing this together. This has been a story unfolding, and it's very real, and we're at this new growth space, and it feels great to be so supported. It took a lot of us to get there. Even though you're seeing me and Jonah, it took a lot of people, and all of their love and their work and their devotion to get to the place where we can, create the conditions for this eudaimonia to flourish.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Jaima.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome to spend a little bit of time just like shouting out some people and giving thanks and appreciation for people who have been involved in the incubation and the development of this project for the last few years. Metatron, Luke Holden, Andrew Gerard, Allison Hensley, Allison Gomez, Jamaica, and myself. This year we have Dougie Campbell coming onto the team, which is really exciting. And then, you know, the instructors that have been a part of what we've been up to, Lauren Leindyke and Dave Zabowski and else, Thomas Pizel and Laura Lyons and Richard Hilton and Astarius Miraculi and Samantha Sweetwater and who else? Help me out. Kristen Many Rivers. She was our Jamaica's right-hand woman. And Jamaica, help me out here. Who else? Who else should we shout out? Happen.
People. There's so many people to thank. So many people in the Lucid family. There's too many, Jonah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could keep going with a few. I want to shout out appreciation for Chant and Susanna Thomas. They're the current stewards of the land at Trillium, and they've really been holding down that space. It's a very sacred valley and a very sacred space, and you can feel it when you step onto the land, and they've been holding it down for 40 years. Well, Chant for 40 years. Susanna's been there for 20. And they've been holding it in community, and they have a very functioning 501c3 nonprofit that's committed to wilderness and ecology education, and they're passing that legacy on to us, and we're so grateful for the vision that they've held and for the trust in the vision that we hold to be able to take the legacy that they've built and bring it to the next stage of evolution, bring it to the next generation. And we're really excited that they're going to they kind of come along with the land. They have a little spot. It's part of the sales agreement that they have an easement where they can have a little tiny house. And so they're going to be interwoven with our community into the future, which is actually great from a logistics point of view, because they're like walking search engines of Trillium. Anything that goes wrong that we don't know how to fix, we're going to be going to them being like, what do we do? And it's so great. They've got 40 years to draw on to help us out with solutions. So that's like such an asset and such a boon that they're going to be with us there. Shout outs to some of the other community members, Andrew Gerard and Tessa Fay and Tim Sexauer and Allison Hensley and Megan Andrew West and John and Miranda and Michael Brightwood and myself, and I think that is Dougie Campbell. That's the year-round community, like what we're calling residential members, residential partners, and then there's going to be this other ring of people that are like supporting partners, and those are people who are investing at a lower level, and they're going to be able to be on the land for 4 weeks a year or 8 weeks a year, depending on the level that they come in, and that's a little bit different than the Lucid University membership. That's at what we're calling the Friends of Trillium level, and Friends of Trillium is the land holding company that we've created to actually purchase the land, and that's also the name of the community going forward. And so there's a lot of interaction between Lucid University and Friends of Trillium, but that's kind of, it's getting us into another realm that I don't need to spend too much time talking about, but I just wanted to give shout outs to the people. That's really the whole point of this time, is to say thank you to all the people who are involved in making this happen. And there's like 341 other people who are backers on our Indiegogo campaign, who I'd love to be able to read out that long list of names, but everybody can actually, if they want to see who's backed the project, they can go to the Indiegogo campaign and they can click on the backers link, and they can see for themselves. So that way I don't have to next 2 hours saying those names. But thank you to all those 341 people.
Yes, big thanks. It has been a long journey, and the nature of crowdfunding is that, it takes the village, it takes the crowd to make this happen. So, at that saying, I want to also just put out to anybody who's watching right now, even if this isn't the moment for you to make a contribution to the campaign, you can really support us by sharing this project. We have 5 hours left for fundraising on this project. As Jonah mentioned before, we are on the Indiegogo campaign with a flexible funding option, so we will receive all of the funds raised, and they will go towards the winterization and continued build-up of Lucid University at Trillium. So we aren't going to lose anything if we don't make it to the final number of $111,111. But of course, the closer we get to it, the more that can be completed right away. So if you took some moments and just shared either the link to this video, the link to the campaign itself, sent it to some friends that you think might be an awesome person to be part of it. Maybe you're not ready to be a member, but you know the person who this is exactly what they've been asking for, exactly what they've been calling in. Please send this over to them right now and let them know that we are in the final countdown, and this would be a great opportunity for next level co-creation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's a great point. There's right now we've got 7 people watching, but if those 7 people shared the link and got 2 more people, all of a sudden we've got 21 people watching. And so let's get more people into this conversation for the next however long we're doing it. How long are we doing it?
Well, it is 7:12 right now. I think, Jamaica, how are you? Are you going to need to leave us here?
Yeah, I do need to go. Is there any last question or any other thing that I can share or promote before I have to go?
Let's see. I'm just checking if there's anything in comments anywhere, and I don't see any specific questions that anybody else is asking at this time. I don't have anything myself. Jonah, any last questions from your side?
Yeah. I want to know who, as our programming manager, I'm interested to know, who is your top of your wish list in terms of instructors or content types or courses that you want to bring into Trillium over the next few years? Where are you setting your sights?
Big. That's so big. It's such a big question. I think rather than give individual names, I think I would rather speak into the sort of the hopeful pedagogy that we're looking to develop, if I could, because I think there's so many people that I would love for us to host, and in all the sectors of what makes society great. I know that with Trillium, we're really looking to keep it very grounded in our curriculum. I think that, again, there's so many play places for education that we really want to leverage the fact that this is a sanctuary in a very beautiful and well-tended, well-loved wilderness area. Well-tended meaning the gardens are cultivated, and then all around it is the wild space. So there's this beauty of ways that we can cultivate and work with the land and learn from that, but then there's also this way in which the environment we're in is still very wild. And I think we have a lot to learn from the wild. So rather than say names, because Jonah, that's so big, that's just such a big. But I think that we want to create.
Well, maybe at least just 1 or 2.
Because maybe they just need the shout out so they can jump in and host their own retreat.
It doesn't have to end up happening, but it's in your wildest dreams, who are we inviting to Lucid University?
I'd like to bring Vandana Shiva, who's a seed activist. She's a beautiful Indian woman, not Indian as in Native American, but from India, who's been a seed activist for a very long time. I think that she is incredible, and that would be amazing. I happen to love Charles Eisenstein, and I really appreciate and love the way that he, weds the sacred economics, but really then the heart of conscious evolution. I think that he'd be amazing to have. I really love Barbara Marx Hubbard. I think she's so wonderful. She's one of our wild elders who's still in the world, absolutely birthing, and has been holding this for a long time. The courage it's taken for her to be now, I think, 85 years old and be at the forefront long before we even knew what the heck. that she's been really holding this idea of evolving consciousness. So she'd be awesome to have as an elder. On that note, there's some Indigenous elders that wouldn't it be an honor to create the conditions and the right relationship to host them well. There's Grandma Aggie, who's actually out in the Williams Valley, the Applegate Valley, kind of about an hour or so from us. And she's a really big placeholder in the Ashland and Williams community, but she's also, being one of the 13 grandmothers, she's the oldest, and to have an opportunity for her wisdom. She's a water protector. He can share the information about the Salmon Nation. People like that would be an honor to host. Who else would I love to host? Oh my gosh, there's so many, Jonah. There's so many. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who maybe our audience would know, but like on the regenerative design movement, there's some really juicy work coming out right now. Biomimicry movement. We have some friends with Bioneers. I'd love to get some of the people from that network to come out. Some of the luminaries that I've seen over these last few years, the plenary sessions and Bioneers. Oh my gosh, there's so many people I'd love to have come out. Yeah, I think our main goal is to create the experience that transcends any one group and any one circle of people. I feel like we want to have, people who approach education from many different facets, but I think it's exciting to get outside of the festival community. I think it's exciting to create like a confluence and a convening space from multiple circles of people doing the good work in the world. I'd love to have Paul Hawken, who wrote Blessed Unrest, that really was demonstrating the global movement that's happening in this decentralized way. He's an amazing author. I'd love to have Starhawk come out. I was so inspired by the Fifth Sacred Thing, and she's been a permaculture activist for a lot of years. I'd love to host her. But I'd also love to host our community. I'd love for the wisdom of our community to have a place to play. So as much as I'd want to, bring some luminaries or elders, or professionals in their field, I also want to bring forward actually this community's wisdom. That's one thing with the Lucid University at the festival that I've been so privileged to see and that inspired me to want to stay involved, was because it's like we have some amazing and talented and very innovative and expressed and masterful teachers right here in our community, and to create a classroom space for this community to flourish and show its gifts feels like just as important to me as bringing the luminaries and bringing those who we look up to and aspire to. I'm really excited for more of our community's gifts to get to come front and center with a platform like this.
Yeah. Yes to that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes to that. Yeah, it's a big question. I will say transparently, we all get to do a deep dive together, a programming deep dive in about 2 weeks from now, and spend some time post this very successful Indiegogo campaign, really answering that question together. And I'm just excited to get to take the next step of making this real. And this campaign is a huge part of that. So thank you to all who've supported us and those who are totally supporting us right now and who will be supporting us tonight, so we finish this well and can put our energy into developing the curriculum and building the program. More of our energy has gone to the crowdfunding, and I know we're ready to take the next step together. So thanks you guys so much, all you out there listening, and please do share this right now through your networks. Get people stoked. Say, turn off the TV and turn on the real world happening right now, and have them come join us and talk about what we're building together.
Yeah, Kiana, will you maybe share that link again in the chat, and maybe if everybody, oh, there you go, you have it down there underneath the video. If everybody could share that link, networks, and drive some traffic to the campaign page in the last 6 hours here. But we're down to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be so good.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, so that should be, and no matter where you've watched us, if you've found us on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube Live, I think all of the posts have the link for the Indiegogo campaign itself. I think it starts with igg.me. So yes, please share that out right now. Take a moment, add your words of inspiration and encouragement for your friends to check out the project. Let them know that there's only 5 hours left and everything matters. Everything helps at this point. That could be a big ticker and make us hit it. We'll hit the 65% mark and give away some cool stuff.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Go for now. Have fun tonight.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Jamaica.
Thanks for making dreams come true.
Yeah. Thanks, Jamaica. Have a beautiful night.
Mwah. Mwah. Thanks, you guys.
So I also, I'm running out of battery here.
Okay.
9 minutes left on my battery.
Great. That takes us to
And,
7:30. So why don't we fill that time? Are you good for that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Great. So what else? What else is like, what are people wondering? What do you need to know?
I know.
Go. You got it.
Well, it's a little bit, it's around organizational partnerships. And so we've talked a lot about campaign individuals selecting perks to interact with Lucid University in one way or another. But there's a lot of opportunity for organizations that are doing awesome work in the world to interact with either Lucid University or Trillium as a venue. And so it's that we already have interacting with the land are Birch Creek Arts and Ecology Center, Soul Sanctuary, Soul Food. So Soul Sanctuary is one of our partners. Andrew Gerard, his mother, she's the director of Soul Sanctuary, and Tessa Faye, Andrew's partner, is also involved in that work. And they do mentorship and coaching for people that are going through difficult transitions in their lives. Usually people who are on the other end of trauma, whether they are healing from, they've lost someone in their life, or they're really just looking to call in new practices, healthy habits, and a new way of living. They do one-on-one mentorship and in sort of like immersive environments. And so they're going to be doing programming on the land likely. Soul Food is one of our other founders, Allison Hensley. She's the founder of Soul Food, which did a sustainable organic local food festival in Santa Barbara. The festival ended a couple years ago, but the nonprofit has lived on, and the mission is really around and educating people around our food systems, and encouraging people to learn about where our food comes from and how to source in integrity, and really look at the food systems as a way to change the world with our dollars and our buying decisions of where we put our money. Like, I just
I lost your sound, Jonah. Jonah's battery may have died early. Okay, let's see. I think we lost Jonah. We'll wait for just a second here and see if he doesn't join us. Reuben Smith wants to come on the air. I'm going to bring you on, Reuben. I got to find the link to send to you. Why not? This is fun. All right, Ruben, if you're watching, I am finding you on Facebook right now, and I'm sending you the link. And that'll bring you on the air. Looks like Jonah, his battery did die, and so he's out. But I'm here, and I'm willing to chat with you, Ruben. Thumbs up, Ruben says. I think we'll see him here in a moment. Thanks for your patience, those that are still watching. Okay, Ruben, did you get that? All right, I'm gonna wait just another 30 seconds here, Ruben, and if I don't see you pop on, I'm gonna go ahead and close out tonight's show. It's been super fun. It looks like we're still at 61%. So again, if you're watching, please go and check out the Indiegogo page. The link is in the comments as well as in the description under this video. So you can find that there. The next person to come in at the $999 level or above will get whatever perk they choose, plus a 4 to 5 hour strategy consulting deep dive with Jamaica Stevens, who does incredible work in this realm of helping to develop a project, get it off the ground, and or get it to the next level. So that's an incredible bonus. And when we reach the 65% funded goal, which is the number here, we're just a little under $5,000 away from that. We will choose from all of those who have contributed tonight during this show up until the point we reach that, and we'll be giving away a free seat at Course Week, which happens the 4 days leading up to Lucidity Festival. So 2 extra bonuses on top of the really incredible perks that are already there. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close up for the night. Oh, hold on. Ruben, did you arrive?
Oh, yeah.
Here's Ruben. Hi, Ruben. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
Ruben, we've still got 4 people watching us, I see right now on YouTube Live, and potentially more watching us from Facebook. Why don't you maybe just give a quick introduction, who you are, how you relate, connect to Lucidity Festivals and or Lucid University, and what you're excited about.
Absolutely. Who am I? You might qualify me as notorious in the Lucidity community at this point, but I think it's a good thing. Hopefully I'm going down in positive history. I was fortunate enough to work in the administrative department for Lucidity for a couple of years. I think that, what was it, 3 and 4, or maybe 2 and 3 and like half of 4. It's been quite a journey. But Lucidity, I'm now like a full-time freelance festival producer, and Lucidity was indeed the organization that is my hometown family, my main community, and the start of it all for me in the world of contributing to events. So I have a lot to be grateful for, and a whole lot of friends in the Lucidity circle. And as for Lucidity with Trillium, I have been following along from afar, and am really excited to see the dreams of so many people having an opportunity to really literally land somewhere on a beautiful piece of land. I actually was fortunate enough to run into Jonah in the food co-op in Ashland as he was headed out for another land walk, and as I was on one of my many journeys up the coast between the metropolis epicenters that we have. So I have gotten to witness a whole bunch of incredibly beautiful, talented, dedicated people put their all into something that's going to give it all back to them, hopefully.
Awesome. Yay. That's so great. What do you have to say to anybody watching who has been maybe thinking about contributing and hasn't yet? Or, yeah, what can you say to maybe inspire them to take some action?
I mean, I think that really, when it comes to inspirational stuff, there's a couple things in regards to fundraisers that I would definitely want to contribute. One of those is that for the inspiration of an individual who's listening here, for themselves, I think it's a matter of, we're all searching for our why in the world. This is one of the things that I fall back to a lot. It's like, it's not what we do and it's not how we do it. It's why we're doing something and really what that means for us, how we feel that. And so this is the work that's going to be done at Trillium, and the work that's done with Lucidity comes from just this beautiful honeypot of why. And that's what drew me into the festival community in general, and especially to Lucidity as a start, was that there is just this entire community. There's a whole global community of people that are going into a deep introspective process with others, which is a nice thing. It's not a journey you have to do alone entirely. You have to walk it alone, but you don't have to walk it by yourself. And the entire thing underneath this, the whole current that moves underneath this celebratory community and this culture, is a deep journey into your own why. Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why does this matter to you? And so my hope for the people who are watching in specific would be, the individuals actually seeing this, hearing this, would be to be hearing the familiar tone that rings out when you find something that matters to you, and the why that you're hearing lines up with the why that you feel called to. So that's for the immediate individuals. And then the second thing I would have to say for people just in general when it comes to crowdfunding is, like, if you've already contributed, or if you are still on the edge of contributing, cool, thank you, and awesome. And I think the really important thing is to get it out and into the rest of the world. There's this process that happens with crowdfunding where it's like the same group of people is trying to support all of these different amazing ideas, and that can be very taxing on a community. And so I'm always trying to encourage people. It's like, if you don't feel like you're in a place to contribute, or you already have, it's a huge contribution to push that farther out into the network, farther away from the epicenter, because so often it's our immediate environment that has contributed so much. And what we need to do is draw in some nourishment, some sunlight from lands abroad in a digital sense, which are further networks, and just sort of open up the watershed a little bit, just provide an avenue for more resources to come back to beautiful things, because there's literally billions of people who could see this. And if people pulled the change out of their pocket, you'd see an incredible change in the world. So there's a lot in both of those areas of contributing to something like this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. That's really potent and powerful. And I know tonight we've talked a lot about some of the higher priced tiers that we have as far as membership and immersions. And that's not to say that everything doesn't count. So whether it's the $1 or the $33 level, or even the tickets for the Trillium, the Lucid University Homecoming Festival, which I believe are $141. These all add up. So anything that you can offer, both from a dollar amount and then as well as the social share, is super important. With less than 5 hours to go, we can make a lot happen, but that does take the power of the crowd, that taking a moment to send a Facebook message or send an email, or do an email blast to your list, to your network, and say, hey, check this out, last minute, check this out. You never know who's going to see that, who's going to get inspired, and who might just be that lifetime member that we would love to have come in before this campaign is over. So thank you so much for that, Ruben.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I almost feel like you can't say enough about it, honestly. I think that something that we all feel these days, I know I feel, I'll speak for myself and imagine other people feel it too, is this sensation. Did I lose you?
There you are. You dropped out at sensation, the sensation of?
Oh, it dropped out at sensation. How classic. I think that I'll speak for myself, and hopefully other people can feel along with me, is that there's this sensation that, like, one person, what can I really do, right? And we talk about this a lot, like, oh, what can I really do? But the actual feeling of it is, it's oppressive, and it's tiring, and it's exhausting, and it is the feeling, it's the thought that's underneath everything, it's the feeling that's underneath the thoughts when you get up in the morning and you just want to get through the day. And the interesting thing about that, I find, is that it is like the answer is the medicine, right? Where it's, if we continue to give in to this sensation that, like, we can't make a difference, we will get up every morning feeling like we can't make a difference. And then this is coming from someone who wakes up every morning feeling like he can't make a difference. And I create environments for thousands and thousands of people. I streamline workloads for hundreds of people. I redesign the way festivals are organized and they're run. And I still feel this. I still know what this feels like. And I think that less, especially in the last few days, I've really realized less than something I will do, less than something I will create, it is the way in which I will approach how I feel about it. And I think that the important thing to really take away in that is that you change the way you feel about it in the moment, right? So it's like there's a lot of people sitting here looking like, oh, Trillium, okay, cool, like, maybe I can give a little bit, what's it gonna matter? Even if they do it, what's it gonna matter? And it is its own self-reinforcing prophecy. And it's like, in this moment, it might be a very small thing, but if you start to build up those things, and this is for an individual now, this isn't for a project. Sure, you give $5 for Trillium, thank you, awesome, that's gonna make it work. And then for yourself, it builds this momentum, and you start believing in other people, and you start believing in things, and suddenly you're the one asking for something. And you think, if everyone believes in me the way I believe in everyone else, this is all going to work out just fine. And so it's kind of recreating that pattern that would be life-changing for you and for other people. You know, change that for other people. It's the same thing where it's like, what's the harm in giving someone a compliment? It doesn't cost you anything, really. You say, I really like what you're doing. And they go, thanks. And it makes their whole day better. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's, I mean, this is this sense of the gifting economy, right? The sharing it forward, which is why I'm so excited about crowdfunding, why I've been involved in it for the last 4 or 5 years, is really a tool for our community, for the change makers that are out there to in the world, because we really are out there sharing our passions and our love and asking for the support of those around us. And I think it's such an incredible model, an incredible method for us to get things done, to really vote with our dollars and vote with our energy, with our ability to share through our networks to help make great things happen. So thank you again for all that you're offering tonight.
Totes. I honestly, to be totally truthful, I really wanted to get on while Jonah was here and to heckle him. Jonah,
you missed your opportunity.
I did. Jonah and I don't get to talk enough, and you know, without giving too much away, honestly, I'm in the constant search for leaders. Leaders are, I think, some of the defining individuals that are truly we don't call our leaders in anymore. They're not really a thing we look for. We're told to be independent. We're told to be able to do this on our own. That, like, we're going to do this and we're going to make a difference, and it's going to be just us, and we're going to do it just through Facebook clicks or something. I'm not sure. But I'm very much of a different school. I think that leaders are in serious need of coming to the surface. We're in dire need of more leaders. And so I'm constantly critiquing people in that way. And I'm very judgmental. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that makes me a horrible person, but I am judgmental in a powerful way, in that I look for the best in people. And Jonah, especially, is someone who is right at the top of my watermark. He's an individual who I think pulls so much more cosmic weight than you might expect from a single person, in that he loves what he does what he loves the people he works with, he loves the thing he believes so much in, the ideas that he stands behind. And honestly, I have seen miracles created by that guy. I mean, like, he has literally picked me up out of the mud and put me back on a course, and I thought nothing would get me up off the ground. And he's been there, and he has done that time and time again. So as much as I was kidding that I wanted to heckle him, it was more that I wanted to be able to bring that perspective. I've watched him do amazing things for years. He's the reason why I do what I do. And so there's just an example of relatively, I'm a huge pain in the butt, but relatively small amount of energetic input, and was able to get me moving. And I do that for countless people now because of something that was relatively small on his part. In many respects, I'm not going to downplay how much he helped me. But that's the real reason why I wanted to jump on. And the same thing with Jamaica. Been longtime friends, and I would call her a peer, but I really think I would put her as a mentor more so than anything, because she is inspired by deep truths and pursues them with just the most incredible passion. And those are the things that I think make leaders. And those are the things that get the rest of us up out of our seats and go, I didn't even know that we could go where they wanted to go, but I want to go there now because they said that we could. And now I want to go there. And so you get up and you start moving along with those kind of people, and it makes a difference. I think that it's people like the people that are working on Trillium that have changed the world all the way along. And I think that part of what we need to learn how to do in our day and age is how to see those people when they're really who they say they are. Because there's so many false prophets these days, and there's so many people with like this diet or this thing, or you're going to heal through this way. And really what you have here is a group of people that doesn't promise anything other than what they're able to deliver, which is an opportunity to look for your own truth and to find a community that will support you in doing that. And that's what Trillium is about. In many ways. I'm also not a spokesperson for it. Don't go quoting me, because they're probably all going to be like, what is Ruben doing and where did he come from? Because I've been in hiding. But I can speak to the ideals that have existed for a long time that I think they're pursuing.
Yes, I think you're right on from everything that's been shared. You're right on, and that's what the real beauty of Lucid University is, and what's offering is exactly that ability to have an experience, to discover your own truths, and to be supported in that process, because it can be a very big and challenging process to dive into that. So it's, those that do say yes are very brave to go into those waters, to dive into the depths of one's own being, and to do that without proper support can be really challenging and even very troublesome. So having something like Lucid University and having a permanent campus, having a place where there is people living in community on a regular basis, and then regularly supporting programming and events and activities for others to come in and do that deep dive work, as well as just so incredible. I think it's so important. It's exactly what we need on the planet at this time, with so much shifting and so much changing and lots of tension and perceived chaos in the world. How can we really get grounded in, get back to our roots, and discover what it is that we need to shift within ourselves so that we can have global shift as well.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, if anybody's in the chat, we've got a few that are still watching us. I haven't seen any questions come up. We'll maybe just give a minute here. This will just be the last ask. This is like good old telethon style, pick up your phones, pick up your mouses, go over and navigate to the Indiegogo page for Lucid University. There's links posted everywhere. You can also just go to Indiegogo.com and search for Lucid University. You'll find it in the community pages section. Make your contribution there. When we reach 65% of the goal, we've got some extra fun goodies to give away, including a free seat at Course Week before Lucidity Festival next year in April. And the next person who comes in and contributes at the $999 or above level will also get a bonus strategy consulting session with Jamaica Stevens, the programming manager of Lucid University. So with that, I think we'll close it down. Ruben, thanks for joining me. Thanks for jumping on. This was really great. I love everything you had to say. It's been a pleasure. And we'll
Absolutely.
go ahead and say goodbye for now. Thank you.
Goodbye for now.
All right. Ciao.